Okay, we are going to read chapter 11. Rabbits don't consider breed, age, or size when choosing a friend to bond with. I would have liked to hang out with Jack and Lappy all afternoon, but I imagined Miss Martell with her spinning finger. We had to get our videos done. So I put the rest of the blueberries in Lappy's pen so he'd go in to get them. Let's film our video before we run out of time, I said, closing the pen door behind him. I'll introduce you and you can introduce me. Did you bring any props to show when you reveal your answer? Jack opened his backpack and took out a plastic bag of Legos, Dr. Seuss's ABC book, and some loose tickets like you'd get for a raffle or to attend an event. I learned to read at age 3, Jack said. Big A, little a. Great, I said quickly before he launched into the whole book. That's one truth. What about the Legos? I like Legos. Having grown up with Jack, the other kids would probably already know he liked Legos. What's the coolest or best thing you've ever made with Legos? I asked. A dinosaur skeleton. Seriously? How big was it? Jack held his hands wide apart. Wow, that's amazing, I said. Do you know how many Legos it took to build it? It doesn't have to be the exact number. Close is good enough. Jack looked off into space. 730. I consider that. Okay. That's a cool truth, but maybe we should be extra tricky. What if we twist it to make that the lie? I could say Jack once built a dinosaur skeleton with 200 Legos. Then for the reveal, we can say, wrong, it was over 700 Legos. Jack smiled. Yes. What are the tickets for? He picked up one and read the back. Raffle, Pumpkin Festival, Maine. Did you win, I asked? It was the only reason I would have kept a raffle ticket, to remind myself how good it felt to win. No. Jack picked up another ticket. Raffle, Christmas Fair, First Parish Church, Rangeley, Maine. Did you win that one? No. If you win, you have to give the ticket up, he replied. Have you ever won, I asked. No. I felt like I was bungling this, but maybe just because I didn't understand why he kept those tickets didn't mean that there wasn't a good reason to Jack. And maybe I didn't have to understand why. Maybe just the fact he liked them was all that mattered. All right, that can be your second truth. You have a collection of raffle tickets. If we didn't get filming, we'd run out of time. I want to change my statements from the ones I said at school. My first truth will be that I love to go kayaking. I used to go with my brother a lot, but now he's in high school and busier. I didn't really mean to tell Jack that. It just came out. You'll just say, Emma likes to go kayaking, though. I had a secret plan with that statement. I was hoping that some other girl would tell me she liked to go kayaking too. Then I could invite her over and we could go together and she could use Owen's kayak. Jack ripped several sheets of paper out of his notebook. What are you doing? I asked. Cue cards, he replied. Great idea. I waited for him to write my first statement. The second truth is I once climbed Mount Cathodin. Jack wrote it easily, even spelling Cathodin correctly. I thought Miss Hutton would like to know that we both like hiking and mountain climbing. I wouldn't tell her that I almost didn't make it to the top, and Owen had to coax me to keep going, though. And the third one is Emma has a pet parakeet. Jack paused, his pencil above the paper. It's the lie, I reminded him. After the kids guess, I can show a photo of my real pets. A photo isn't as cute as the real thing, but... Wait, what if I brought Lappy himself? Was that crazy? On one hand, that would be a bit complicated and a lot to coordinate, and I didn't even know if Mom would have time or if it was allowed. On the other hand, it would be quick. If Mom could bring him, I could take him out of the carrier and let the kids pet him for a couple minutes. Then Mom could take him back home. It wouldn't take a lot longer than showing a photo. But maybe Mom would start talking and tell the kids something embarrassing about me, like how she told Jack's mom I wanted a friend, even if it was the truth. Maybe Dad could bring him. Dad was a huge part of Lappy's story, and he didn't tell embarrassing stories about me, thinking they were cute. Suddenly, I was glad Iris and Leah haven't been able to meet Lappy yet. This would be even better. It could be a big, dramatic moment for my reveal. Most kids love pets. Everyone would want to meet Lappy and talk to me about him. Maybe it'd even bring me my best friend. You know how our program has 3 parts, I asked Jack? First, we say the statements about each other. Then the class guesses. Finally, we reveal the answers. Yes, Jack said. Okay, I have an idea. Let's do the statements about each other on video, just like we planned. I'll introduce you and you introduce me. But then on the day we present, let's do our own reveals in person. It'll be more exciting for the audience. You can bring your Lego dinosaur skeleton, or if it's too fragile to bring, maybe you could bring a big photo of it. I bet kids would think it was awesome. I'll give you a chance to tell them about it, and maybe I can bring Lappy. Jack smiled. Yes. It felt great that Jack was excited about my idea. It made me feel a little braver about telling Iris and Leah that Jack and I had changed the plans. Okay, let's get filming. I'll go first, I said. Since one of Jack's truths was about reading, I stood in front of the bookcase. Just film me no matter what happens. We can edit later. I don't like being recorded, and I wished I had made some cue cards too. But I smiled my friendliest smile as Jack pushed the button on Mom's phone. Let me introduce you to Jack. Here are some statements about him, but only 2 of them are true. See if you can guess the lie. I paused for extra drama. Jack collects raffle tickets. Jack built a dinosaur skeleton with 200 Legos. Jack learned to read at the age of 3. As I said each statement, I tried to keep my face the same so I wouldn't give away the lie. Which one do you think is the lie? Then Jack stood in front of my dresser. I arranged the cue cards on the windowsill behind me so that the lie would be last. I wanted to end with Lappy. Let me introduce you to my friend Emma, Jack said loudly, like he was an announcer at a basketball game. Emma likes to go kayaking. Emma once climbed Mount Cathodin. Emma has a pet parakeet. Which one is the lie? Listening to Jack say things about me in such a big way felt weird, like hearing about someone else, even though I did like to kayak and climb mountains. But so what? The other kids didn't seem to be taking this assignment so seriously, and I had to start somewhere. The only way the other kids would ever get to know me was if I shared things about myself. It might work out perfectly too. I imagined one of the girls in my class hearing Jack talk about me and then seeing Lappy. Wow, she'd think, Emma's so interesting. She'd ask if she could pet Lappy. I'd say sure, and then we'd talk. I was pretty confident that I could take it from there on my own. It was just so hard to get started. Even though this felt weird and uncomfortable, it would all be worth it if I found a best friend. And that is the end of chapter 11.